Arkham City has always been one of those places you just never want to be locked up. I mean, think about who you being locked up with. You got Joker on one side, Penguin on the other, and Two-Face on the other. Then you got the Arkham inmates themselves, which after listening to some dialogues, yeah, y'all deserve to be in there. 1000%. Some of these guys are murderers, thugs, thieves, and diddlers. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Have you heard about the dialogue, though, about what they would do to Poison Ivy and Catwoman? Like, it's some disgusting stuff out there. So, we're going to be seeing if these wonderful inmates could survive Arkham City. Cooper from Super 8, Hisako from Killer Instinct, Mina from My Hero Academia, welcome her to the channel, yep, applause, applause, Ibuki from Street Fighter, and Winter Soldier from the MCU. So without further ado, let's begin. To start off the list, we have Cooper from the movie Super 8. And believe it or not, watching this movie, I swear this is actually happening in Area 51 right now for some reason. Like, they just don't want us to know. So, how strong is Cooper? Well, believe it or not, I actually couldn't find too much of him in the movie. So, I actually looked up a wiki source, and, well, this is what I got. Cooper is a carnivore that really just doesn't discriminate about what he eats. But he is strong enough to flip a bus and has telepathic abilities to where he can actually jam weaponry and even cause people to, like, misfire. But he also produces some electromagnetic field, which actually disrupts technology. So, Cooper's actually pretty good. Like, he's well off in this department. Now, how does he do in Arkham City? Well, believe it or not, in terms of where I can actually see him being for a large majority of the time, and keep in mind, we're treating him as more of a sentient creature rather than a, absolute monster. Because, again, that's what he was. Now, Cooper could actually remain in any of the territories throughout there, but considering the fact that he likes to be more discriminate, he would actually be in the subways. And I actually think this would be a very scary thing for a large majority of the inmates here. Because if he lives down there, he's likely going to view them as food like he did in the movie. Keep in mind, Cooper just really didn't care because, again, he hated humanity because of what the scientists and the military were doing to him inside of, captured when it's captured by Area 51, excuse me. But keep in mind, the ones who own or go into the subways are both Joker and Penguin's crews. Possibly Two-Face later down the line, but again, I'm not really too sure. It's been a while since I played Arkham City, but again, I'm going based off what I remember. Now, believe it or not, I actually do see Cooper being able to kill these guys via brutal stealth kills. Like, possibly far quicker and far more brutaler than Batman. This means that Penguin would likely not be able to get his third jammer and likely would be sending crew after crew or members after members, groups of members, mind you, to try and see what's going on. And if, funny enough, if Penguin decides that, or pretty much hears that there's something taking them out, he might assume it's Killer Croc and just simply not go down there in general. Meanwhile, with Joker's crew, Joker would likely do the same thing, trying to reclaim the sewers in Penguin's territory, or sorry, the subway in Penguin's territory, and again, this will wind them getting up eaten. Then we would hear from Two-Face's crew that, oh, look, no one's reclaiming the, subway and stuff, and then the rumors of Arkham City would actually be that there's a creature down there tearing apart and eating the inmates. And they would assume it's Killer Croc, but again, anytime someone goes down there, they're not going to be able to report what it is or even come back. I could even see like a mini horror version of this where maybe it's like Two-Face's crew this time, right? He sends a couple men down there to reclaim or to claim the subway system so that they can actually have a chance. Obviously, they're a bit nervous, and we'll say there's like 5 of them, right? And then one by one, they all get picked off till the last one is able to make it to the exit, but gets snatched right back into the darkness and eaten by Cooper. Would be absolute cinema, to be honest. And then you got Protocol 10. Believe it or not, I could think Cooper can stop this because, again, once he really starts climbing Wonder Tower, he would definitely be able to like casually disrupt the technology because he produces some type of bioelectric field that shuts it down, and then proceed to honestly just tear apart and eat everyone there. Now, believe it or not, again, Cooper is capable of compassion and reasoning, so I don't see too much of a problem with it. But at the end of the day here, yeah, Cooper's got this. And if you want to say, well, what if Joker, and keep in mind Joker would be sick at this time, or Penguin would decide to keep sending more, then Cooper's just going to have more food for days. He actually does store humans in his cave that he's killed and just kind of eats them later. unless you're someone he likes. So I guess that's like a 50-50 kind of thing. But yeah, Cooper takes it, probably with low difficulty. Next up, I got Hisako. Sure hope the diddlers don't try her. She that's a ghost of vengeance right there. That means she's willing to kill people. I'm just saying, she, other than the fact that, you know, Cooper would do it as well, but yeah, Hisako is basically a woman that was tormented, you know, multiple ways in her normal life, and now she comes back as a spirit to basically kill all evildoers. Yeah, so Arkham City might be empty after a while. Now, how strong is Hisako? Well, other than the fact that she's a Killer Instinct character, she would actually scale to, well, the rest of the cast, who scale back to Gargos, who actually is able to produce power, or is able to actually, you know, strike with the force of a supernova, putting him at solar system level. Multi-solar system level, mind you. Because, again, Idol compared his blows to multiple supernovas going off. Yeah, I know, crazy. Then you might say, wait a minute, does that mean, yes, Death Battle got Saberwolf completely wrong? Completely, mind you. Yeah, so, while I do think John Talbane does win, like, possibly mid-difficulty at best, especially if we give them both their highest scaling, which, like, universal to outerversal, yeah, John would win. But if we gave them equalization scaling, where it's not hard to get John to solar system level as a base, and that's actually where I would definitely put most Darkstalkers anyway. Yeah, Saberwolf would definitely win because he just has a deeper tier into the solar system. Now, keep in mind, this means that every thug she comes across is going to die. Yeah, keep in mind she has an ability where she jumps inside your body, no didding. Well, maybe somebody would like enjoy that. I mean, hey, contort my soul, if you will. But she's able to, like, jump inside your body and then just, like, starts attacking you from the inside out. Yeah, so she's gonna kill a lot of people in gruesome ways. She can even, like, semi-drag people to hell, and or to the underworld, whichever, and kind of just tear them in half at that point. So not only can she do that, she could also just be simple and start slicing you in half with her katana or her glaive. Whichever one she really feels like using that day. It just, you know, completely depends on her. And as for Protocol 10, yeah, she's just going to face the walls, float right up to Strange, and just kill him right there. Then all the guards as well. And then Ra's al Ghul as well. So, yeah, Hisako clears this, no difficulty. Next off, we have Ibuki from Street Fighter. Ibuki! And it's kind of sad she wasn't in Street Fighter 6 when she was in the last game as well, so kind of sucks. I would definitely love to see, like, a futuristic version of her where she's mastering ninjutsu. But again, yeah, that's actually her fighting style. She's actually a ninjutsu specialist, and she's even able to fight against the likes of Guy, who is also a ninjutsu specialist and a master of it as well. So she does have some pretty good scaling. Now, keep in mind, Street Fighter characters actually range from the from the island tier. Yeah, they can easily get to island tier, as everybody in that verse is busting meteors at this point. And then we also have the planetary tier. Then we have the outerversal tier, because they also scale to Darkstalkers, which is confirmed to be a canon crossover in Capcom. So, yeah, using the lower end, which is around the island level, Ibuki would slaughter every inmate and proceed to apologize about it, because that's the kind of person she is. I don't think she would mean to knock somebody's head off their shoulders. She just thought they were just more durable than, you know, she just thought they would be able to take it. I would actually feel bad for her, though. But considering the fact that she is capable of just sneaking around the inmates, kind of just finding and stealing any food crates. Keep in mind, the funny part is they even get good food in there, because Joker and Harley were eating like royalty, while the inmates were just eating like canned beans and stuff like that, to the point where their stomachs were hurting, and just, you know, they were on the can for like a while. So yeah, I think somebody needs to check on them, in all honesty. But with that being said here, yeah, Ibuki would straight up slaughter every inmate in here, every person in there. But now let's get into the good stuff. Protocol 10, right? How would she react to that? All she has to do is sneak up there and start assassinating. Even with the likes of Ra's al Ghul, he would probably offer a position as maybe his future heir to the League of Shadows, and then she would just blitz one shot and kill him. So yeah, Ibuki's got this like negative difficulty. But now let's move on. Number 4, we got Mina. Yep, give her a round of applause. She's making her way onto the channel. Mina actually gets to multi-city block with her feats and the fact that she scales to characters like Todoroki, who can produce that kind of energy. Now, Mina herself is also physically strong enough to knock out these kind of characters, so physically speaking, she's not that bad, and for her quirk, she has an acid release. This allows her to, well, bend this acidic liquid throughout all of her entire body, whether it be her hands and feet. I think she can also spit it out as well, but I probably got to go back to the manga and find that out. And keep in mind, she's capable of melting just about anything from rubber to boulders to even living flesh and stuff like that. So it's yeah. Yeah, she can definitely melt whatever she wants on that point. And the funny part about it is, I feel bad for her because she might be traumatized. These inmates are downright monsters, devious. Remember that stuff I said about Catwoman and Poison Ivy and how they're like diddlers and stuff like that? Yeah, I think they would definitely try it. Unfortunately for Mina, she's going to be traumatized by the fact that she has to leave puddles of blood. And again, I think she would definitely be able to do it. Because I think she would definitely do it after a while. She would probably try to do the safe way of trying not to kill them. And then when push comes to shove, she's going to be like, sorry for what I gotta do. They can be like, what? And then all of a sudden, she just starts splashing them with acid and stuff. She can melt the ground around them, melt their shoes, melt their clothes. She could do whatever she wants. But again, at the end of the day, she can kill anybody. I think it'd be funny if she starts taking out everybody by just putting her acid release all over the building and then just melting it entirely. Because keep in mind, she can stop a whole entire avalanche with her acid release. So imagine how she would fare against everything else. Now, what about Protocol 10? Do I actually see her being able to stop this? Yes, I can definitely see it. I do think she would definitely find her way to either get up the, Wonder Tower, or, here's the thing. She actually utilized her acid release to melt the structures of the tower and gets out of there and just lets everything just come crashing down. I could definitely see that. I could see that happening. And keep in mind, she's fast enough to dodge bullets. So that's not going to be, that's not going to be a problem or an issue. So Mina being able to melt anything she wants and just being able to kill a lot of these inmates, I think that's the only thing that's going to be traumatizing about it, is that she's just going to have to leave a puddle of blood for people. But again, considering the, My Hero Academia does toughen up their younger students, or Class 1A and Class 1B, I don't really see her being too traumatized for long. Finally, we got Mr. Armed and Dangerous himself, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Yeah, good thing we're not using Marvel Rivals, because that, dear God, that would be horrible. Imagine him just constantly saying armed and dangerous, and then again, and again, and again, and again. Dear Lord, I love you Bucky players so much, because y'all do be clearing out the battlefield, but dear Lord, you guys are a pain to play against unless I have y'all, just caught y'all lacking with magic or something. But believe it or not, yeah, Winter Soldier in the MCU would get around to building level as he scales to Captain America, who scales to Spider-Man, and, so on and so forth. So, yeah, he could just kill every inmate in here. You could put 100 of them with guns and even, weapons and melee weapons and stuff. Bro was going to use them as meat shields. He's going to do stuff Batman ain't willing to do. So this means they're going to be shooting their friends and, smacking each other. And then all of a sudden, Bucky's just going to get a kill streak automatically. And then that arm as well, the fact that it's made out of vibranium, and the fact that there's no one physically strong enough to overpower him, not even Bane in this verse. Yeah, it's going to be good night for everybody. You're going to say, oh, well, what about the armored inmates? Listen. They're going to be lucky if he just doesn't shoot them in that little in-between spot right there. Yeah, they're going to be lucky on that one. But again, he might just do it because he feels like being paid. So, none of the inmates and none of the main villains can stop him. What about Protocol 10? Can Bucky solve that? Hell, yeah. He was a Winter Soldier for a reason. Top tier in assassination and espionage and stuff like that. And keep in mind, like up until Thunderbolts, Bucky was on Demon Time. And again, after, Falcon and Winter Soldier, he just he mellowed out a little bit. He's a bit more merciful. So he may not kill every inmate he comes across and just wants to be left alone. However, I think after a while, if he does see like Protocol 10 kind of like popping off, yeah, he's just straight up gonna start killing the Tiger Guards and stuff just to kind of get this over with as quickly as possible. So with that being said, yeah, Bucky does clear. But now let's actually talk about the ranking. Who do I think does the best out of this one? And believe it or not, top 3 on this one is definitely going to be Bucky, Ibuki, and then Hisoka, because again, they could honestly just wipe the floor at anyone. Mina, because I do think it would be traumatizing for her, and she may not be able to solve Protocol 10 in time. But again, even if a lot of inmates die, she'll just take out Wonder Tower and call it a day. And then there's Cooper, who just simply wouldn't care about the situation. Hisoka would just kind of like kill just to kind of fulfill her need to like avenge people who died, and Hugo Strange will probably have like the biggest mark on him. Ibuki's his hero, and Bucky's an assassin superhero. So yeah, at the end of the day, everyone does great, but I think that in terms of ranking, I would go Bucky, Ibuki, Hisako, Mina, and Cooper. But see you guys later for the next video. Peace.